if you're still thinking, I can't believe the fall sports season is already here, well, believe it now, because today we have our first games of the season. Well, it's like, not really. I mean, they're actually scrimmages, but it'll be two teams squaring off against each other. Actually, it's not going to be the first games of the fall, because last night over at Ken Lindley Field, the Yavapai College men's soccer team got the ball rolling, no pun intended, when they had a friendly against FC Arizona. But today, we have a lot on the schedule. The Embry-Riddle volleyball team, they're going to be down at Ottawa University, where they'll be involved in a series of scrimmages all day long. The Embry-Riddle soccer teams, they're also in exhibition matches tonight. Embry-Riddle women, they're going to be up in Flagstaff. They're going to be taking on NAU in a scrimmage. And while they're at it, I'm thinking maybe since they're up in Flagstaff, maybe they can check into that Monte Vista Hotel, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted hotels in the entire country. So maybe they'll have a ghostly encounter up there. Of course, I actually stayed at the Monte Vista last year, and I didn't experience anything paranormal. Now, closer to home, the Embry-Riddle men's soccer team, they will host Pima College in a scrimmage tonight. That'll be at 6 p.m. over at the Eagle soccer field, and hopefully the monsoon can hold off for a bit so they can get that match in. This time of the year, it's kind of a crapshoot when it comes to the weather, and I've been to soccer matches at both Yavapai and Embry-Riddle where you're all set to go, you're all ready for the game, and then the sky opens up and lightning's flashing all over the place, and the game starts to get real late, or they just don't play the darn game, and it's a real pain, especially at Embry-Riddle, where sometimes they have teams traveling long distances from the Pacific Northwest, sometimes from the Midwest, and the weather just really screws everything up for them. So it's like, okay, we come like 1,000 or 1,500 miles to come play at Embry-Riddle, and because of the monsoon, all we just do is like sit inside, and then we find out, oh, wasted trip, can't play the game, darn it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, but there is still a 50% chance of rain here in the Prescott area in the evening. Hopefully, though, it'll be just rain. Rain is one thing. You can play through rain. It's the lightning you got to worry about. Of course, playing in lightning can be doable. Ray Caldwell, anyone? Now, a lot of you are probably saying, who's Ray Caldwell? Well, he was a pitcher for the Cleveland Indians, and back in 1919, true story here, folks. Back in 1919, Caldwell was on the hill. It's the top of the ninth inning. He's pitching against the Philadelphia Athletics when he actually got hit by a bolt of lightning right in the middle of the field. Chest got seared by the bolt. He was on the ground for several minutes. Then the dude got up, brushed himself off, said he was fine, and he finished the game and got the win. It's like, oh, man. Now you want to talk about a mad lad. That is Ray Caldwell to a T. Now, compare that to the present day, where you have that tennis player, Naomi Osaka, who had a couple years ago, she had a sob fest because one person in the stands at Indian Hills screamed out at her, "You suck." One person did that, and Naomi Osaka goes, "Why are you so mean to me?" Or you know what? We can also use LeBron James as another example, because he always whines whenever anyone criticizes him. Or what about Russell Westbrook? He actually got a fan ejected from a game because the dude called him Russell Westbrick. His name, because that's usually what he does, just hits bricks. Ah, man, whatever happened to the days of star athletes walking into the opposing team's venue and having 20,000 rabid fans screaming insults at them, and they just go, yup, bring it on, baby, bring it on. That's my motivational fuel. And Michael Jordan, man, he was the epitome of doing that. Nowadays, just suck it up, man. It's like, as I've always say, if you're doing something in the public eye, you're going to get criticized, whether it is justified or unjustified. And you know what? you deal with it. Heck, I've gotten my own share of hate mail and mean online comments. In fact, one of the reviews for my novel Sea Raptor, some dude on Goodreads basically called me a sexist and a misogynist. And I just laughed it off, especially since currently, I'm going to sound like I'm bragging here, but hey, if it's not bragging if you do it and you back it up. Sea Raptor, by the way, 390 ratings and reviews on Amazon and an overall 4.5-star rating. So, mean comment away, baby. Anyway, where was I before I went off on this tangent? Oh, yeah, lightning. Well, hopefully everyone out there knows that I'm joking about playing through a lightning storm. I mean, you never can tell in this day and age because too many people in our society have zero sense of humor, and they wouldn't recognize sarcasm if it whacked them over the head with a 2x4. And a 2x4 with a nail in it, just for emphasis. So hopefully the thunderstorms are going to hold off for tonight's scrimmage with Embry-Riddle and Pima. Then I believe Tuesday, Yavapai and Riddle, the men's soccer teams, have a scrimmage. And then on Thursday, I think it is, the Embry-Riddle women and Yavapai women, they will have a scrimmage as well. Then next Friday, we have our first game of the season that actually counts when the Embry-Riddle volleyball team kicks off the Montana Tech tournament versus the Montana State Northern Lights. Love that mascot name, by the way. And then also mark your calendars because on August 30th, that is going to be our first Prescott football game of the year. The Badgers at home versus La Jolla. Full play-by-play here on KYCA on the radio side at 1490 AM and 103.5 FM, online at kyca.info, and live streamed on the KYCA Facebook page, which, by the way, folks, we finally got that back up and running. We had some technical issues with our Facebook page yesterday, but it looks like, according to our live stream guy, Andrew here, it looks like we are good to go on Facebook. So you can catch the show right here on Facebook Live, too. And also pretty sure that it's also going to be on our YouTube channel, the Prescott Football Game as well. And speaking of Facebook and YouTube, if you are watching this show on those platforms, be sure to smash the like button, give us a follow, leave a comment, even if it's a mean comment, because we can always get a good laugh out of those. Well, I mentioned Prescott football, but that's on the boys' side. Now, this year, Prescott High School has a new football team, and that is girls flag football. And we're going to talk about the Lady Badgers' inaugural season, as in the studio with me today, I have head coach for Prescott flag football, Ryan Hart, and he brought two of his players with him, Olivia Raber and Emily Bolson, and we will be talking to them on the other side of this break about this new flag football team over at Prescott High School. By the way, not just a Prescott High School, Bradshaw Mountain, they will also have a new flag football team. Also, Mare has a new flag football team, and they'll all be playing in the same region. Not going to be the Grand Canyon region. This region will be called the Mountain Sky region. I think it's a pretty cool name. Anyway, folks, more on Prescott High School flag football on the other side of this break. We'll be back right after this. And we are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. Thank you very much for joining us here on this Saturday morning. John Rust with you here. And in the studio with me today, well, we're going to get you all introduced to the newest team here, one of the newest teams here in the Prescott area, and that is the Prescott High School girls flag football team as they're gearing up for their very first season of competition. So in the studio with me today, I have their head coach, Ryan Hart. I also have two of his players. They are Olivia Raber and Emily Bolson. So, folks, thanks for being with us here on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so Coach Hart, I guess first we got to ask, how did this whole thing come about? How did Prescott wind up getting a girls flag football team?
Well, let's do the long version that's still short. A long time passed since flag football kind of came about in Arizona back in the 2005-2006 time frame. There were obviously powder puff games across the state that were becoming popular. And Matt Stone down at Hamilton High School around the 2012 timeframe tried to put this forward and get it sanctioned by the AIA back then. But fast forward to 2023 when it finally became a high school sport sanctioned by the AIA. 58 schools, I believe, got on board with last season. So it was the inaugural season for the state last year. And then, a lot of schools, there's a lot of buzz where it's, hey, can we have a team too? And now, sure enough, this 2024 fall season, there's going to be over 100 teams in the state, 39 just in 4A and below. So last year they had 5A and 6A. Now we're going into 4A. And I had some conversations with Missy Townsend at the high school over the last year or so now, and she overcame some of the obstacles that we thought were, would be an impediment to establishing a program. Because there are a lot of sports and a lot of athletes here at Prescott High School as it is, and there's a lot of logistics that go into it. So shout out to her for getting down to business and figuring it out and giving us an opportunity to launch this program.
And now, probably the one question our listeners are going to ask here to you, Coach Hart. What makes you qualified to coach a flag football team?
That's a great question, and I'll say I don't have any high school flag football coaching experience, which is fine because that's basically the resume of most coaches in the state with respect to flag football. But I've been coaching flag football for several years at the youth level, and I've also done a lot of little league coaching as well. I've done some assistant coaching on tackle football teams at all levels. Played some semi-pro football way back in the day when we had the Tri-City Raptors. I don't know if you remember
Actually,
them.
I do remember them,
yeah. So shout out to that. That's 20 years ago or so, but we had some fun doing that. And the Flagstaff Hitmen as well. So just been around football my whole life, and we're big NFL fans, and we watch NCAA teams that we like. We like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. We like to watch the Wolverines. I'm a Harbaugh guy. Good luck to him in San Diego this season.
Mm-hmm. And so now, Emily, when this whole flag football team first popped up for Prescott High School, what made you decide, hey, I want to give this a try?
My other coach, Coach Zeminski or Jordy, I was looking for a sport to do during off season to keep me fit and have fun before track. And he told me about flag football, and I was just like, that's a great idea. So my coach just convinced me to give it a shot.
Okay, so Olivia, same question to you. What made you decide that, hey, flag football sounds like a sport that I want to take part in?
If I'm honest, the whole reason I signed up in the first place was because my friend was signing up at the table, and Coach Hart was there, and I felt peer pressured. But like over time, I went to the meetings and I went to the clinics, and I don't think I've ever had so much fun playing a sport. So I just got hooked.
Mm-hmm. So, Emily, have you ever had any sort of experience with flag football before now?
No.
So a whole brand new world for you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Olivia, what about you? Any flag football experience before this point?
Does elementary PE count?
Yeah, if you play flag football anywhere, it counts.
Yeah, that's it for me. Yeah.
So how did you do in your elementary flag football gym class?
Oh, it was horrible.
The competition between the boys was always great. Trying to beat the guys, girls beat boys, stuff like that.
Well, hopefully you've gotten better since then.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah. So, Coach, now for those not familiar with the way flag football is going to work at the high school level, if you can kind of go over the rules, and for anyone who wants to come out and watch these games, what can they expect to see when Prescott High School takes the field this year for flag football?
Yeah, great question. From a fan's perspective, it's going to be a lot of fun. There aren't a lot of rules that cause like alignment issues. You can have as many people on the line of scrimmage as you want. The center is eligible to catch a pass along with everyone else. Those things make the game really fun and kind of easy to play, and making sure that the game progresses in a fun way for the fans. Another thing is you won't see the chain gang running down up and down the field. We have fixed lines that are first downs. So you'll have one at the 20, the 40, the other 40, and the other 20, right? So generally you get the ball at the 30-yard line, for instance, for a touchback, and you start from there and try to gain your first downs as you go down the field. You have 4 downs to get to the first down, which is similar. It's got a lot of similarities to normal tackle football, but you can't lay somebody out with a pancake block. You got to get in front of them with your feet and make a non-contact screen block, as they say. But that's generally the idea. We play 4 quarters that are 12 minutes each, and there's 8 minutes at halftime, so it's fairly fast-paced, and you're going to see a lot of action out there. We kick field goals and extra points as well, and punts are executed. There's no rush on those, so you're not going to have to worry about getting a punt blocked. But it is akin to the boys' game in a lot of ways.
Actually, that's what I was going to ask you. If you do have a kicking game in flag football, and you just answered that question. And, well, I know before we went on the air, you said that quite a few of the players from the girls' soccer team have come out. So I assume one of them is going to be your kicker.
Yeah, that's a good point there, John, because now that the soccer girls have come out, there's at least 2 or 3 girls that are confident kicking the football. They were kicking practice field goals yesterday before we started our scrimmage practice yesterday, and they were kicking field goals from the 25-yard line, and they were going through. So it's pretty incredible. We feel really blessed and happy and grateful to have those girls coming out and kicking the ball with confidence like they do. So it should make the games exciting. When we need some points and we're not quite close enough to get a TD, we can kick it in there and see what happens.
Okay. And I know next week tryouts start for you guys, but before then, you did schedule some training camps, some workout camps, just to get girls used to the idea of flag football. Some in the spring. I think there were a couple in the summer. How did those camps go?
Yeah, really, really well. We opened up with just kind of an open practice in the evenings in the springtime is what we did. So you can come out and see what flag football is all about. We did some fairly informal practices and a lot of drills just to see we wanted to have some fun. So we did that in the spring for about 5 weeks. And then we got a little more serious in the summer with our 2-day clinics. We had two 2-day clinics, one in June, one in July, that each were full days. So we had a lot of opportunity there to kind of go through the X's and O's and some of the rules and some of our culture ideas and character building and team building and getting the girls to know each other. So all the girls that have come to all of those, to the extent that they were available over summer, which isn't always easy, they've had a good time, I think, and they've also started to gel as a team. And then we rolled right into our informal practices this last week, which, of course, as you mentioned, were disrupted by the weather. So it's been up and down, but we have had an opportunity to move all the stuff out of the way in the library and run some plays and some formations in there, being out of the rain. So that's been nice.
So you didn't just stay out on the field and just say, hey, if one of my girls gets struck by lightning, she can just get back up and play like Ray Caldwell did in 1919.
Yeah, pulling a Ray Caldwell would be pretty cool. But we have this app that just screams at us. When the lightning's too close, we get ordered to go off the field, and the sirens go off, and you think it might be something really crazy going on. So we get out of there and we do what we're told and follow what they call protocol, which I'm learning a lot about at the high school level.
Yeah. So, Emily, I assume that you took part in some of these summer camps and other camps for flag football, right?
Yeah, I participated in the second clinic.
Okay. So just tell us your experience, what it was like going through that clinic and I guess kind of getting used to the whole flag football world.
It was great. You learn a lot fast. You kind of get worried that you're not going to learn it all quick enough, but the coaches do a really good job at like drilling the information in your head, and you never have to be worried about asking questions. They're always open to questions. So I feel very supported, if that makes sense.
So, Olivia, what about you? I assume you took part in some of those camps too?
Yes, I did both of the clinics, and for me, I mean, it's one thing to go and watch siblings or go to high school varsity football games and watch, football, but it's another thing to learn how to really play in it and be in the game. And that was really fun for me, is like getting all that extra information and knowledge.
So, what were maybe like one or two things that really surprised you that you felt were kind of unexpected about, taking part in flag football?
Ooh.
Tough one, huh?
Yeah, that's a tough one. Unexpected things. Probably I thought there were going to be like a lot more girls trying. There are a lot of girls trying out, but I was expecting a lot more because I don't know. I assume that every other girl was as excited for this sport as I was. But I'm kind of grateful that we have a team that's really passionate about it, and we just don't have a lot of random girls that just want to play whatever sport, because it makes our team better and it makes our team fun.
Okay, so Emily, anything when you went to when you went to these camps, anything that maybe surprised you about flag football, where you kind of went, "Wow, I didn't realize that you had to do this for this sport."
Not I don't think so particularly. I didn't know a lot about football in general. I was never a football watching family. So the whole thing was like new to me when I'm like learning all the terms that I hear people talk about. I hear people trying to talk to me about football and I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about. But now I could be like, I think I kind of know what you're talking about.
Well, you're new to this, so I'm sure you'll get up to speed probably by the time of your season opener, which, by the way, folks, is going to be September 17th. That will be a home game at Prescott High School. They will be taking on the Boulder Creek Jaguars. And before anyone asks, yes, we got Bradshaw Mountain on the schedule. The Prescott-Bradshaw game will be on October 1st, and that will be at Bradshaw Mountain High School. All right, break time here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. In the studio with me today, I have Coach Ryan Hart, and I also have two of his players. I have Emily Bolson and Olivia Raber of the new Prescott High School flag football team. We'll be talking more about them as they get ready for their inaugural season, so we'll be back right after this. We are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here. And on the show today, we have members of the brand spanking new Prescott High School girls flag football team. I have their head coach, Ryan Hart. Also in the studio with me, two of his players. He has Emily Bolson and Olivia Raber. And I was debating whether or not to do this because, as you know, regular listeners, watchers of this show know that when we have local athletes in, we do our lightning round where we ask all kinds of goofy questions about teammates. But when I got here this morning, I'm like, I don't know if I can do that because they're kind of not an official team yet. You know, tryouts are next week, so it's not like they have a full roster, and they also haven't played their first game. But then I was talking to Emily and Olivia here, and they were like, well, we do have kind of a core group of girls here. We kind of know each other pretty well. So, you know what? We're going to attempt a lightning round with players from a team that haven't even played a game yet and haven't even got their rosters set. So let's see how it goes. No pressure, ladies. So, Emily, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Who on the Prescott girls flag football team do you think is the best dressed player? Who would be the team fashion plate?
Team fashion. Can I elect myself?
I got no problem with that.
I have a whole plan for like how I'm gonna accessorize. I've been bragging about it this whole time. There's like mouth guards. You can get like pink binky mouth guards, so it looks like a little binky. You get gloves with cool things on them. You get cool boots and everything, and it's just I'm really excited. I'm probably gonna spend a bit too much money on it.
So Emily has nominated herself. Okay, so Olivia, who would you say is probably the most talkative player on Prescott?
Oh, probably Emily. She's really talkative. Other than Emily, I'd go with Delaney.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are pretty confident in what they have to say, and they like making jokes and putting in their input.
Okay, so Emily, who would you say is the quietest player on Prescott?
Naomi.
Oh, didn't even have to think about that, huh?
Yeah, she's a really, like, as soon as you start getting to know her, she's super funny. She's great. She has a great, she has a great sense of humor. She always uplifts the team. But at first, you wouldn't even think that, like, all that was behind such a quiet voice. But she's awesome.
Okay. Now, Olivia, who would you say is probably the funniest player on Prescott?
Oh, the funniest player. I'd have to go with maybe Addie Larson. She's hilarious to me. She makes the funniest jokes, and she's not afraid to say things like, oh my gosh, that was a horrible play, or just something like that. And she makes jokes, and yeah, it's good. We laugh a lot.
Okay, Emily, opposite side. Who would you say is the most serious player on Prescott?
Alyssa. She can be lighthearted, but she's very committed to what she applies herself to.
Very focused individual,
Yeah.
huh? Okay, and to wrap up our lightning round, Olivia, what player on Prescott do you think can eat the most in one sitting?
Oh. Not to say any specific names of people in the room, but Emily.
Oh,
So you're dominating this list.
I think so. Whoops.
So kind of like you go to a pizza place and it's like, yeah, give me two 14-inchers. No, all for me.
Yeah, surprising. Like, you think I eat a lot now. You just haven't been to the restaurants we go to after track. After you have a meet for track, you think I eat a lot, but then you see like the mid-distance runners, and they're so tiny, and yet somehow they pack away like 3 full plates of food.
Well, they're distance runners. They're running like for miles and miles. They got to replenish those calories.
No clue how they do it. Honestly, I should become a distance runner so I can eat more.
Oh, man. By the way, folks, before we get back to talking to Coach Hart and Emily and Olivia here, I do want to have this announcement here. We do have a charity car wash coming up this morning. This is actually for the Prescott High School Unified Sports Team, taking place this morning at Finley Subaru on Willow Creek Road. That's going to be from 9 to 11 this morning. Also, members of the Prescott High School football team, boys football team, they'll be on hand for this charity event. Also, we will have so let's see, so the Prescott High School football team is going to be on hand for the car wash. You're all going to hate me for doing this, but I guess the Badgers will be working at the car wash. Come on, sing it with me, car wash.
Car wash.
Get it.
Thank you for that, Olivia.
That note was so bad.
You were so bad. What about me? I can't sing for beans. I probably had a lot of people tune out this show. Oh, by the way, also the Spirit line is going to be at this car wash too. They will be putting on a bake sale. Just so you know, if you're selling anything with coconut in it, I ain't buying it because I just despise coconut. I would rather lick the asphalt than eat coconut. What, Emily?
I love coconut so much. I buy like dried coconut chips sometimes before I go on track meets, and I eat the whole bag in one sitting.
Well, we're going over there right after this. I'm definitely going to be there. So if there's anything with coconut, I'll just get it out of the way for you.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
just give
You
it
don't
to
have to
me,
deal with
Coach.
it.
Oh, yeah, give it to her.
By the time you get
I'll
there, the
take the
coconut stuff will be gone.
leftovers.
You can have it. I'm not going to complain.
We'll handle that.
Oh, man. So, anyway, like I said, 9 to 11 over at Findlay Subaru on Willow Creek Road. Charity car wash to benefit the Prescott Unified Sports Team. I'm sure the Spirit line will have other things there that don't have coconut that I can buy. Anyway, back to flag football. Now, Coach, probably a lot of people out there are wondering, it's like, wow, like flag football is actually an official high school sport. Well, I did do some crunching of numbers. I did my research like I'm wont to do because I'm a research rat for just about everything. I went to the NFHS website, and according to them, there are 9 states in the U.S. that have flag football as an official high school sport. Arizona being one of them. Also, Nevada is another one. Alabama, California, Georgia, Illinois just got it. Alaska has it, which kind of surprised me. Couple other states are, I think, very, very close to getting it. Colorado and Montana. 17 other states are in the process of it. Not sure if one of those states is my native state of New Jersey. We'll see. But Coach, I imagine this probably surprises a lot of people to see how flag football is growing, not just as a high school sport, but now it's starting to take hold at the college level. Right now, just the NAIA level.
Yeah, there's a generation of girls and boys out there that have been playing more organized flag football over the last decade, right? So they've got these skills and this passion for this sport that they've grown to love. And now the state governing agencies are taking note that this can be a lot of fun and a lot of benefit for all those kids that have been doing it. You know, in like, for example, we have the Gridiron Quad City Flag Football League here. A couple hundred kids are in that just started last spring. And, those are kids that may not otherwise be in a sport in the spring, but they love to play flag football. So having said all that, we're finally getting traction with lots of states to bring that on. And the NCAA does not, officially have flag football or girls flag football as a scholarship sport yet, but that's coming. It is an NAIA sport. There's a lot of colleges out there. You can look them up across the nation that have adopted flag football into their institutions, and the NCAA, I think, will not be far behind with the LA Olympics coming up, 2028. We're going to have boys or men's and women's flag football out there in LA. Can't wait to see all that. And so the game is it's coming along. There's a whole lot of people that enjoy it and love it, families and kids across the nation. So I think we're headed in the right direction in that regard. Yeah.
Well, if the NAIA has flag football teams now, next time I see Phil Hess, the athletic director up at Embry-Riddle, I got to say, Phil, when are we going to be seeing the Embry-Riddle flag football team, man?
That's right. There you go. How cool would it be to have Badgers just go right over to Embry-Riddle and continue their dream of flag football?
Absolutely. Now Emily, of course, you're going to be part of the flag football team, but you also said you're part of the track and field team as well. So what events do you do there?
I do shot put and discus, and I'm trying to get myself back into hurdles right now.
Okay. So any other sports you've done besides track and field and, well, now flag football?
No, my only two sports. Track is my little baby. It's my precious thing.
So, Olivia, what about you? Any other sports that you've done besides flag football?
Yes, I have done lots. I've danced, I've done swimming, I've done badminton, I have done tennis, I have played soccer, I can't even. I lost count. There's so many. I just switch around every year.
Yeah. And actually, I don't know, there might be some listeners out there who might be familiar with your name because I believe your sister Geneva was on the tennis team a few years ago.
Yes, she was.
How's she doing these days?
Good. She's up in college at St. George, Utah Tech.
Oh, okay.
Super awesome. She's an accountant.
Okay.
Yeah, we're studying it.
And then, Coach, I believe you said that as it stands right now, you have about 21 solid, semi-solid players on your team right now. And, of course, I imagine that is going to increase after you have tryouts next week.
Yeah, I'd have to say anybody listening that knows a girl that's high school age here in Prescott that's going to be attending the high school, come out and check out our tryouts next week. If you're even mildly interested, it's incredible the amount of talent and fun that you can kind of uncover that somebody doesn't know they love the game of flag football until they get out there and try it. So we want the biggest number we can for tryouts next week. So big plug for that. Tell your friends. And we do. We have 21 girls right now that are kind of coming out regularly that are going to be there for tryouts. And we're just hoping that the official tryouts gets our numbers above 30. The goal would be ultimately to have a JV team this season, which may be lofty, but hey, if everybody brings a friend and we can get the word out and get the girls that really want to play, I know there's more than 30 girls out there in the student body that would want to participate and have a lot of fun doing this.
Okay. So, Emily, have you been kind of doing your part, going around to some of your friends now that school's back in session going, hey, come out to the flag football team with me. Hey, come on.
I can try to, but honestly, a lot of my friends don't really involve themselves in sports. They're involved more in their academics and athletics. So I think I'm the athletic friend of my particular friend group, I think. Just realizing that.
So, Olivia, what about you? Have you been doing any recruiting in the hallways in the classroom at Prescott High School?
Yes, I talk about it all the time. That's all I talk about. I think I originally invited Emily to one of the clinics. That's how we got her going on it. So, I mean, if people don't know that I play at this point, that's surprising.
Yeah.
Well, you did say that you got turned on to the flag football team through peer pressure. I guess this is a good kind of peer pressure, unlike the usual negative. So maybe you need to apply that good peer pressure on some of your peers.
Yes, absolutely.
Whatever our girls are doing, it's working because even just this last week, we've had 4 new girls that I didn't see before. They came out to throw the ball around with us and have some fun. So just keep getting the word out and give it a chance.
Okay. And also the other thing, along with players, you're also looking at fundraising opportunities. You're looking at sponsors because obviously at the high school level, we're talking pay to play. You got to generate your own budgets, generate your own revenue. So just tell us what that effort's been like trying to secure funding for this brand new team.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy. We're starting from zero in all respects, right? So it's all brand new. Missy's been wonderful getting us the budget allocated to get started and get the initial equipment, but we are going to need plenty of funds going forward to sustain the program in various aspects. So we are on Facebook, PHS Girls Flag Football. Please come follow our page there. We have a business sponsor campaign going right now that any local business can sponsor at various levels and help us out and get some good advertising with the high school. And then also we're partnering with the local Rotary Club, Prescott Sun Up Rotary, to do a road cleanup on October 5th. So our players will be out in the community soliciting some sponsorships for that, some participation and based on them going out and cleaning up a big section of Highway 89 the morning of October 5th. So that's what we're going to be doing.
Okay. And again, the season starts for you guys on September 17th. You got a home game against Boulder Creek. And I know it's brand new team and there's still a lot of things to get used to, but I don't know how much you've been looking at the rest of the Arizona world of girls flag football, but looking at this schedule, any teams on there that might give you concern? Any teams on there that you think, boy, this is going to be a pretty tough matchup?
Certainly. There's there's a lot on there. There's a lot of teams we play, actually, that already have a full season under their belt. Not only that, but a team like Boulder Creek, which we open up against at home, they're well established. They're well attended. They have numbers. There's a youth football league down in Anthem called Core 5 that has been kind of building and becoming a feeder program for their high school for a number of years now. So they have a lot of talent. They're well established. They're well coached. So they're going to come in and we're going to get our first test of what it's like to play a real established flag football team that's well coached and has a plan. So I'm not really particularly worried about it, given the talent that I've seen and the effort and the drive that these girls have shown to want to get better and learn how we're going to go out there and execute on the field. But at the end of the day, we're not trying to win every game this season. We're really trying to come together as a team and do something special and write the first chapter in this story of girls high school flag football at PHS.
Okay. And Emily, how much are you looking forward to that season opener on the 17th against the Jaguars?
I'm actually really excited for this. I've been looking forward to it. I'm glad we have some time to practice before our first game. We have 6 weeks, and I'm excited because that's going to help us like build our team, team chemistry before then. So.
All right. Olivia, what about you? How much are you looking forward to to being part of the inaugural group of Prescott High School flag football players? You're making history.
I'm actually like super pumped. It's a super awesome opportunity, and I have like those good nerves, walking out on the field and throwing the football and, doing all those things. It feels good and it's exciting, and I'm excited to share it with the community.
All right, great. And, of course, like we always do at KYCA, we cover all the sports, all the schools around here. So we will definitely be giving you our updates on Prescott girls flag football and Bradshaw Mountain and Mare. That'll be on our sports reports. And, of course, you'll see my face out there at some of these games, too, getting interviews. And, hopefully a lot of the girls, I shove the microphone in front of my face, they'll be like, what do I say? What do I say? Well, I think you two will be fine now.
Can I mention real quick, for the community, our games are Tuesdays and Thursday evenings. So our schedule's obviously up on Max Preps. So check it out. Come out Tuesday and Thursday evenings is when you should kind of just pencil that in on your calendar. 6 o'clock games. We need the community to come out and support us and get excited about this. So.
All right. It's Coach Ryan Hart of the Prescott girls flag football team. I want to thank you very much for joining us here today on the show, along with two of your players, Emily Bolson, Olivia Raber. Ladies, best of luck to you this season on the flag football team. Like I said, we'll be following you here on KYCA. Coach, thanks again for coming in and getting everyone ready for the first year of flag football at Prescott High School.
Let's go. Go Badgers.
All right, folks. Oh, by the way, programming note, we're going to do a best of show next week. I'm going to be out of town because next weekend Hailstorm is in concert, and yours truly is going to be banging his head to the vocal beast herself, Lizzie Hale. Looking forward to that. So best of show next week. And of course, August 30th, our first Badger football game of the year here on KYCA. Folks, thank you very much for joining us here on Tri-City Sports Roundup. Dr. Hancock coming up at 9, followed by Drive Time AZ at 10, Eye on Prescott at 11. We will see you again soon. Have a good one.